I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be freedom, jealousy, love, respect, and trust. That's a whole mouthful. Well, I got 4 emails I'm going to go through with you today. But in the last one, the 4th one, is going to be one of those. There's going to be a few face palms probably in that one, because it's like, we'll get to that one in a few minutes. But I got a quote that I wrote that I want to share with you before we get into the first email. And the quote says, "Feelings of jealousy are simply fearing that you are not good enough to have someone love you for you. This leads to controlling behavior when their actions do not meet your expectations. When you try to control those you love or who you want to be loved by, they naturally will feel an impending loss of freedom. This will lead to rejection, arguments, drama, and unnecessary problems. You must give others the space to choose to be with you or not. If you seek to force their hand, manipulate them, or control them into choosing you or staying with you, your fear-based actions will make what you fear a reality, and they will leave you to seek someone who gives them the freedom, unconditional love, and respect that they deserve." So let's go ahead and jump into the first email. The viewer says, "Hey Coach, fantastic work. I got a complex problem for you. I've been with my ex for 4 years and we have a son. Over a year ago, she found some flirty messages from another girl on my phone and packed me off to my friends so she could cool off for a week." Come on, man. What are you doing having flirty messages from another girl on your phone? What does that tell me? That tells me that your needs are not being met in the relationship. Are you in a relationship with somebody that you're really not in love with and you're really not crazy about? If that's the case, the manly thing to do is to leave that relationship so you can find who you really want and somebody that you really want to be with, and so your girl can find somebody that she really wants to be with, and your son can have an example, or hopefully a couple of examples, of mom and dad happy and in love with 2 people who love and respect them and would never go behind the other's back and screw around with somebody else. That's just not cool. Eventually I moved back in, and like an idiot, rather than delete this girl from my phone, she found more messages. She went crazy and said it was done. Come on, man, seriously? So what does that tell me? You still didn't want to let this other girl go. So in other words, you blew a bunch of sunshine up your girlfriend's ass, that, oh, this girl's completely gone, and then you kept doing what you were doing. That's not cool. That shows a total lack of integrity and the intent to deceive. This is what you're teaching your son, dude. Come on, man, seriously. Be a fucking man about it, grow a set of balls, and leave the relationship if you're not happy in it. You can't fucking use somebody like that and blow sunshine up their ass while you're trying to get a little trim on the side. That's just not cool. She was deeply upset this time, you think? But nothing went on with this girl. Anyway, over a year on, I'm spending time there and occasionally sleeping with her and taking her out, and she still runs hot and cold. And I can tell that she's still skeptical. Well, what's the old saying go? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool her 3 times, it's like a come on, honey, a come on, woman. Come on, woman. But definitely she's warming up, albeit slowly. The question is, do I continue to take it slow? Hang out, have fun, hook up. The courtship never ends. If I were you, I'd be reading my book cover to cover, backwards and forwards. You gotta consider that you're basically restarting the courtship all over again. And you have to show her through your actions that you really are committed to just being with her. And it's obvious. It's like, why should she let you back? And you've already screwed her over twice. You already didn't do what you said you were going to do on 2 separate occasions. What have you done to give her any reason to trust you? Will she come around? Time and good communication. And if you haven't read my book yet, go to my website right now. Underneath the email sign-up box, there's an image of my book. If you click that, it will take you right to Amazon.com. You can either download the Kindle edition to any electronic device in under 60 seconds, or you can purchase a paperback version. He says, I love her dearly. In the past few months, I've spent 4 to 5 days at her home with our son, and it's depressing going back to my place. Should I be grateful for this third chance? Yeah. And do I remain patient? Yep. I mean, think about it, dude. It's like she's giving you a third chance, and you're at least spending 4 or 5 days with her. Hang out, have fun, hook up. I would definitely encourage you to read. And also, I did a video called How to Communicate with Women Effectively. If you Google Corey Wayne, how to Google Corey Wayne, how to communicate with women effectively, that video will come up. It's also on the home page of my YouTube channel. If you go under the Essential Fundamentals Videos tab, it's one of the videos that's listed in there as well. It's one of my most popular videos that I've done. Because you need to do a lot of communicating, a lot of talking, and getting her to open up, and just have fun. And show her through your actions that you're actually trustworthy, and you're not just blowing a bunch of sunshine up her ass to allow her to move back in, and then you're going to go right back to the old same behavior. But what you really need to do is you got to ask yourself, is this the woman you really want to spend the rest of your life with? Do you really want to be exclusive with her? Or are you just living a lie? Are you bullshitting yourself? That's really an important thing, because most people tend to major in minor things, and that includes their relationships. And when I see this, this tells me that you're not completely happy. She's not completely the kind of woman that really knocks your socks off and fulfills your needs in every single way. And if that's the case, the honorable thing to do is to leave that relationship so you don't hurt her anymore, and you don't have to put your son through this bullshit. Instead, you can go find somebody that really is what you want, and you can be happy with that person. So let's get into the second email. And he says, hey, Coach, I recently just got married. Actually, this is a woman. She says, I recently just got married to a recently divorced man. He's my age, and we get on well. There is chemistry at every level, and he has 4 young dependents with his ex. And recently I read a few rather despondent messages from him to her on the WhatsApp smartphone app. Things he says to me, he also said to her. Ouch. Remember, women want to feel special. They want to feel more special than any of the other women in your life. And it definitely does not make you feel special when he's telling you these same platitudes and you kind of find out he's saying the same things to his ex-wife. She says, I know it's stuff he may have told her when they were married too. He has justified these messages by saying that she's extremely difficult and nasty, and that this is the only way to get to see his kids. He said he will do whatever it takes. I have not loved the way I love him, and I let all my guards down with him, and I feel betrayed. Well, I would definitely tell him that. Say, I've never loved any man the way I love you, and this makes me feel betrayed. You got to make me feel special. It's like, I understand if you got to blow a little sunshine up your ex-wife's ass in order to play nice in the sandbox so she'll let you spend time with your kids and not give you such a hard fucking time. But when you say these things to me in the heat of the passion, the heat of the moment, and then you're going and saying the same things to your wife, it causes me to feel like I'm not special and that you're just saying, these are just words. They don't mean anything. So it's great. You got to blow a little sunshine up the ex-wife. Great. I support that. But don't be saying the same shit that you're telling me, because then that cheapens what you say to me. That makes me feel like you're not really being authentic with me, and you're just giving me a bunch of platitudes that you saw in a fucking movie. I want to feel like you're goddess, you're queen, and I'm the most important woman in the world to you. So when you tell me something special, it needs to be only for me. Don't be recycling the same love letter. She says, I don't want to be hurt, and he promised me that nothing is going on and nothing will ever happen between the two of them. She says, I have doubt. Well, that's understandable. I know and understand the depth that may be longing for his kids for, and I give him space, and I don't question him for his motives. I just feel left in the dark. Well, I would tell him exactly what I shared with you. And obviously it's going to be incumbent upon him to actually do that, because if he really loves you and he really cares about you, he'll say, you know what, that was pretty shitty to go and say the same things to my ex-wife that I was saying to you. And you gotta teach him this, because us guys, we're logically brained. And you got to make it crystal clear to him that You got to make me feel more special than any woman in your life. So when you tell me something or you write me a sweet love letter, it needs to be words that you're not expressing to anybody else. Let him know that. Tell him what you need in order to feel loved and validated. And also, if he's going to blow some sunshine up his wife's ass, it would be nice if you say, hey, I talked to the wife and I blew a bunch of sunshine up her ass, and this is what I said to her, because the only way I get to see my kids. Because if he's honest and he's open and he shares these things with you, then you're going to feel like there's really nothing that's being hidden. Just say, I want to be kept in a loop. And you know what? I'll even play along. I'll even help you maintain the illusion that you're really kissing her ass, because you're making me feel like the most special woman in your life. That's what I need of you. If you make me feel more special, I don't give a shit what you say to her. So let's move on to the third email. This guy says, hey coach, I've downloaded and I've read your book twice this week. Good fucking job. My word, it's been such an eye-opener on my past failed relationships. I've contacted you regarding a relationship problem and I need some solid advice, please. I recently slept with a friend of 10 years 3 weeks ago after a night out for my birthday. That's a hell of a birthday present. We were out with a group of friends of mine who she had only just met that night, and a female friend of mine asked what was going on between us two. And she replied, nothing, but she wants there to be, but she's scared to say anything in case I don't feel the same way as her. My friend told what she said to her that night, and I was surprised, but I did have a sneaky feeling before that night that she may want to be more than friends. That night we went back to my place, we went to bed, we were cuddling at first and then started kissing, and she initiated sex, but also she would rather do this sober. However, we carried on anyway. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Don't get all in your fucking head and fuck things up. After we finished, she said, we've definitely crossed the line of being more than friends. And I said, we don't have to rush into anything, but I do feel the same as her. I went on holiday the next day for a week, and I messaged her after 3 days asking how she was and updating her on what I was up to. She replied, but we never spoke about the night we spent together. There's no reason to, dude. See, it's like in your mind you're thinking, oh, we got to have a talk. We got to have the talk. What do we mean to each other? Don't do that. Just hang out, have fun, and hook up. Don't be complicating things, getting all in your head, worrying about what this means. Oh, we got to put a label on that. That's a bad way to go, my friend. Just live in the moment and have a good time. She had a good time, you had a good time, you both had happy finishes. Hey, it's great. It's all good. She usually contacts me regularly, and I noticed it was me having to contact her. So this tells me that she's backing off a little bit. You can't make the mistake of assuming that because you're more than just friends that you're now in a relationship. As a man, all you need to focus on is hanging out and having fun and hooking up. You start talking about relationship labels and you make things awkward, she's going to go right back to, oh, let's just go back to being friends. She doesn't want anything complicated, especially when you got a bunch of mutual friends in the picture. And it'd be very smart on your part if you keep your fucking mouth shut. So when any of these other friends go, hey, what's going on with you two? Go, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, I know you guys are dating. It was like, even if I was dating, it would be none of your business. I love you, and I appreciate your concern for the two of us, but we're both adults. And gentlemen, don't kiss and tell. By the way, how them Yankees doing? Yeah, change the fucking subject after that. So he says, I felt maybe she was backing off from making contact, and I waited another 4 days before contacting her again. This time, I brought up what she had told my friend on the birthday night out. Bad way to go, dude. You're creating drama. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. You should just be focused on creating the next opportunity for sex to happen. Not going, what do we mean to each other? What's the label that we could put on that? Because what you're going to do is you're going to cause her to feel like she's losing her freedom. It's a bad way to go. She replied, she does like me, but she's bad at relationships and can't give any more and is terrified it wouldn't work out between us and she can't go through that. What does this tell me? It tells me you're focused on a relationship. And already, this is the excuse she's giving you. I can't give any more than that. In other words, she's saying, dude, don't fucking complicate things. Hang out, have fun, and hook up with me. That's what she's trying to communicate to you. He says, now our last relationship ended nearly a year ago and she was a mess after it. She has told me her moods are up and down and is not right how she is, and she said she needs to sort herself out before she gets into a relationship again. That tells me you're pressuring her a little bit and you're making things weird and awkward instead of just hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. The relationships and the commitment and the labels that go along with it, it's none of your fucking business. That is the woman's department. When she's ready to bond and connect with you in that way, she will bring that up. Where do you see this going? Do you see us being exclusive? Do you see us becoming an item? And that only happens after about 2 solid months of dating, hanging out, having fun, and hook up, and let her do the majority of the contacting. But right now, since you're doing the majority of the contacting, which you share with me, you're literally starting to drive this woman away and complicate things, and she's giving you all this BS excuses, this mumbo-jumbo stuff that's kind of confusing you. And all she's really trying to say is, dude, slow your fucking roll, bro. It's in the bag. You're already getting the milk for free. You don't need to buy the cow yet, dude. Come on. He says, the more she thought about us, she started to panic, and she said she didn't want to lose me. We've messaged twice since, the last being 8 days ago. I haven't made contact since 8 days ago, as I've been following your advice, and I also haven't been blowing her phone up. I'm just really confused why she's backed off after being really keen about being more than friends. Because she hinted and mentioned that, hey, we're not just friends. In other words, you're friends with benefits. If that's the label you need to tell yourself, great. But then you start working on the relationship vibe. When do we have that conversation? How does that go? Bad way to go. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's your mission, bro, if you choose to accept it. Hang out, have fun, hook up, and create an opportunity for sex to happen. That's all you need to do. I don't know if she's being genuine about why we can't go further, or she's changed her mind about her feelings toward myself. You gotta understand, women fall in love slowly over time, and if you had read my book and learned the fundamentals, you would understand this. You had sex a couple of times, and now you're thinking, hey, when is she gonna become my girlfriend? When she's fucking ready. When she's ready after a couple of months of hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, and letting her do most of the pursuing, calling, chasing, she'll bring it up. But with you doing all of pursuing, you in essence are acting like the woman right now, and you're literally driving her away. He says, this girl meant a lot to me as a friend, and I would have liked to take it to the next level. You are totally fixated on locking this woman down to a commitment. I feel I've lost a close friend and potential partner. Do you have any idea why she's being like this and what my game plan should be? Well, your game plan should be to read my fucking book and actually apply it. Apply what I teach. But what I would do is nothing. Just wait to hear from her. And when you do hear from her, hey, babe, this is what you say to her. Hey, great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? And she says, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm like, oh, let's just go out and have a good time. Don't worry about a relationship or any of that stuff. Don't complicate things. Tell her that. And just make the next date to get together. Hang out, have fun, and hook up, dude. But read the book. Things will become a lot clearer to you. So let's get to the 4th and final email. This guy says, hey, Coach, my girlfriend and I have been dating since I was 16 and she was 15. We were high school sweethearts. And recently, before the breakup, we were bumping heads because it was just a bad week for us prior to the breakup. One morning before school, we got into an argument and she started crying and screaming in the car in the school parking lot. I ended up holding her around her waist to calm her down because I didn't want her to go into school with her makeup all messed up and her friends knowing that she's been crying. So in other words, I tried to control the situation and force her to do what I wanted. That's why she's totally emotional and totally, completely out of control. You're trying to control the situation, trying to use logic and reason to reason with her, and she's getting emotional because you're not listening to her. You're making her feel like that you don't understand her. And listen to what happens next. It's like, it's like, dude, what are you in college now? It's like, he says, I ended up getting arrested and sent to jail for 2 days with a charge of criminal restraint. Come on, man. It's like, I love how he sugarcoated this. He says, I ended up holding her around her waist to calm her down. What, did you fucking tackle her and sit on her? It's like, come on, dude. Seriously. What are you fucking thinking? How can you let something get so out of control? You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. Obviously, she wasn't feeling free. She was feeling threatened and scared to the point where the popo came and took your ass off to jail. He says, after I got out, we were still together, and even though there was a no contact order, so in other words, you had a restraining order and you still contact her. Dude, what are you fucking thinking? I still communicated with her for a few days before we went on a break that eventually broke us up. Dude, I think when the cops showed up, that was pretty much the end. When the breakup happened, I was completely cool, you know, asking some questions, but no desperate messages or pleading to get her back. I acted as if I was cool with it and on board. You probably get this a lot, but I'm telling you, me and this girl are perfect for each other. Like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Dude, you went to fucking jail. Hello? Wake the fuck up, man. Pull your head out of your butt. God damn. We were perfect for each other in a complete opposite kind of way. We met in chemistry class and fell in love in 2 weeks, and since we started dating, we were together for 15 months straight. So you're what about? So this happened when you're in high school? Damn. There was a prior breakup to this before, when I was being a dick for about 7 months ago, where she broke up with me and I was wrecked. I ended up moving on, and she found out I was talking to another girl, and she freaked out and ran back, and we got back together. That's what you need to do now. You need to move on with your life. It's over. Great. I'm fucking free. I can date whoever I want. Awesome. Start making some new dates, dude. Hanging out, having fun, hook up. Moving on with your life. Hey, she doesn't want to participate, and legally you can't contact her anyways, dude. Making sure she knows that I'm not a welcome mat, and blah, blah, blah. Her birthday's coming up, and I haven't talked to her since she told me she hated me and never wanted to see me again, even though I was the one who paid the bond and went to jail for something stupid that she never stood up for me. Man, if you were here, I would totally bitch slap you, dude. You need to take your right hand, reach out, and fucking choke yourself. What are you thinking? Part of me tells me you can do better, but part of me wants to try and fix something that could be something special. It was something special in the past. It's not special right now. It's called a restraining order, and your ass will go back to jail if you don't stay the fuck away from her. He says, we were the it couple in our school, and right now I feel as if we're going through a big problem. That's a pretty big problem, bro. He says, I need help, coach. I just don't know. I should wish her a happy birthday. It means legally stay the fuck away. That's what you should do. Don't call her. Don't text her. Move on with your life as if she's part of your past. Do what you did the first time that you broke up. Start dating other women and move on with your life. It's like, fucking A, dude. And try to rekindle things or not. P.S. I haven't talked to her for over a month when her birthday comes around. Well, great. It's going to be over a month then when her birthday comes around. I would never contact her again. If you haven't heard from her, what does that tell you? She ain't missing your ass. I'm sorry to tell you, but that is the way it is, dude. It's time to move the fuck on with your life and read my book and stop acting like a fucking psycho, dude. It's like, how could you let things get so out of hand? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You might want to go see a psychologist and a counselor to get some help, because that is fucking totally inappropriate behavior. Never, ever fucking do anything like that. Ever. If a woman wants to go, your attitude should be, all right, baby, well, I'm going to miss you. It's going to break my heart, but you know what? Don't let that door hit you in the ass on the way out. Man, come on, man. Seriously. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.